Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Eleanor and I have my first book haul of 2021. I think after this book haul it'll be a wee while before I buy some books because I have quite a few books now, but some of these books I've bought for very specific reasons that I'm not telling you in this video because spoilers. But I wouldn't have maybe have bought this many books at the start of the year like this because I have quite a few books I'm eager to get to already, and I don't like to have a huge physical TBR. But you'll find out in due course if you subscribe to my channel, hint hint, what some of these books are for. The first book I have to show you was the only book I got gifted for Christmas, and I have to thank my wonderful boyfriend for giving me the Science Fiction Hall of Fame Volume 1, 1929 to 1964, which is an anthology of science fiction short stories, and it's like classic science fiction short stories. The subheading is The Greatest Science Fiction Stories of All Time, chosen by the members of the Science Fiction Writers of America, edited by Robert Silverberg. And there's a lot of classic sci-fi writers here that I really enjoy, like Isaac Asimov, Ray Bradbury, Arthur C. Clarke, and many, many more. I think there's 26 short stories in here, and I'm really, really looking forward to reading this. I think there's a list in the back if you want to pause and see all the authors on here. I believe this was originally published in like the 60s, and this is a reprint. No, I think it was originally published in the 70s, and this is a reprint. So I'm really excited by this. I really, really enjoy short story collections, and I've really grown to love recently science fiction short story collections because you can really just get a very detailed and insanely bizarre snapshot into this world. And a lot of times short story collections, specific short stories, really get me and they make my mind spiral, and I wish there were full-length novels. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to get to this. The next book I bought was The Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula Le Guin, and I've not read any Ursula Le Guin, and I think that's shameful. She's an amazing classic fantasy writer, and I'm ashamed to say that I've not read any of her books before, so this is me rectifying this, and I bought The Wizards of Earthsea, and I'm really excited to read it. It's actually so much shorter. It's not even 200 pages long. I'm really excited to read this. A tale of wizards, dragons, and terrifying shadows in which the young wizard Sparrowhawk strives to destroy the evil shadow beast he has let loose on the world. So very excited at that. I love dragons, and the fact that this has dragons in it, very excited. I also bought Deadline and Blackout by Maya Grant. I remember in November, I read Feed by Maya Grant. I love that book, and I'm so excited to continue reading it on. And we're doing it with a buddy read with Kayla from Reading Cloud and Faye from Books and Jogaholic. I believe one or both of them have already read the second book, so I need to catch up. But I think we really want to just discuss these books and kind of buddy read them. So I'm excited to that. I really loved Feed. It was excellent, and it ended in such a crazy way. I'm so excited to see what happens next. Like, where do you go on from here? So Feed was about a brother and sister duo who are bloggers, and they were chosen to blog the presidential election by about 25-30 years, I never get it right, the date, after a zombie breakout. So this is such a unique world and a really weird and unusual take on a zombie apocalypse, post-apocalyptic story, I suppose I should say. You're following bloggers and a presidential election, but with zombies. It's excellent. Would highly recommend at least the first book, and I'm hoping I enjoy these two as well. The next book I bought is a very strange choice for me. If you have been watching my channel for quite a while, you know that I would never normally pick up something like this, but this is one of those ones I will mention at a later date why I've picked up this book, and that is Run Rebel by Manjeet Mann. I don't really know much about this story. It was recommended to me by a friend here on BookTube, and the thing that scares me slightly, and I'm not sure how I'll do with this book, is that it is written in verse. I've never read a book in verse before. I'm really excited to read the story and learn about the character Amber and what she has gone through, and I'm really intrigued to see how a book in verse goes for me. Now, the next book I bought was because in 2020 my favourite book was Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. This is my first Susanna Clarke. This was excellent. If you've not read this, please read this. My favourite book of 2020. I'm going to talk about this book forever. So excellent. Loved it so much. So because I loved it so much, I went out and bought Jonathan Strange and Mr. Noro. I knew this book was massive, but this weighs a ton and the writing is tiny and it's 1,000 pages, and I'm definitely going to have to segment this out to read it, and I'm really excited to pick this up at some point. I have been struggling with fantasy lately just because I've been on such a high sci-fi kick, but I think because I loved Piranesi so much, I am eager to get to this at some point this year. The next book I bought was Into the Drowning Deep by Myra Grant. I just said that I loved Feed by Myra Grant, and I'm continuing on that series, so I wanted to check out her other books. So I bought Into the Drowning Deep. A few people here I follow on BookTube have read this and loved it. Faye was one of them, and I'm really excited to read more of her other books. Myra Grant also writes under the name Shauna Maguire. She's published the Wayward Children series and Middle Game, and I love all of those books, so I'm eager to read more from her, and this came greatly recommended. It's all about a lost voyage out at sea, and a tragedy happens, and a new crew's assembled to try and work out what's happened, and it involves the sea. I believe this involves like mermaids and or sirens or something like that. Can't quite remember, but I'm intrigued. And the last book I bought was The Stone of Destiny by Carolyn Logan, which is the first book in a Four Treasures novel series. I believe this is a children's book, but both Connor from Connor Sampanado has greatly recommended this book to me and really enjoyed it, and a couple other people as well that I watch are here on BookTube, and I'm shamefully saying that I can't remember their names of who else has read this. I believe Abby from Autumn of Pelennor has read it too. But Carolyn Logan is a Scottish writer, and I really have to make an effort to read more books written by Scottish authors and published in Scotland. I need to support my people. So I thought this would be a great place to start because it came so highly recommended. It is a children's book and it's a fairy tale and it's about fairies, and it just sounds really lovely and really nice, and I'm excited to read it. Yeah, that's it. Quite a quick haul. As I said, I probably won't be buying any more books anytime soon. I really need to clear off my TBR shelf because I don't like to have more physical books than fit on that shelf, and I think I'm breaking that slightly with this haul. So, bad Eleanor, I need to not do that. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what ones you loved, and I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments. Be sure to like this video, check out any of my others, and subscribe if you aren't already. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!